You know, it's funny how life circles back around. I remember being in my 30s, always on the move, working long hours, raising a family, and I never gave a second thought to things like my prostate or how often I had to run to the bathroom. But somewhere along the road, somewhere between slowing down a bit and realizing I wasn't as invincible as I once thought, I started noticing things I used to ignore. Maybe you've noticed them too. Getting up more than once at night. That sense of urgency, even when you just went. Or maybe it's just a general feeling that things down there aren't quite working like they used to. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. In fact, it's one of the more common things we men face as we get older, but we don't often talk about it. And the truth is, there are things we can do, simple, manageable things, to help keep our prostate healthy and improve our urinary comfort and control. No complicated gym equipment, no embarrassing conversations, just good, solid routines that fit into our everyday lives. So today, I want to share some of those exercises with you. Not just the kind that work your muscles, but the kind that help your confidence too. We'll talk about ways to ease those nighttime bathroom trips, strengthen the muscles that support your bladder, and take small steps toward a more comfortable, more confident life. Let's start with something that might surprise you: your pelvic floor. Now, most people think that's something only women need to worry about, but let me tell you, men have one too, and it's just as important. The pelvic floor is like a sling of muscles that supports the bladder, bowel, and yes, the prostate. When those muscles weaken, you may notice leaks, urgency, or just a feeling that you're not emptying completely. Strengthening those muscles can make a world of difference. There's a simple exercise called a Kegel. You've probably heard the term tossed around, but don't worry if you've never tried it. Here's how I like to explain it. Imagine you're trying to stop yourself from passing gas. That squeeze, that's your pelvic floor muscle working. Or imagine you're midstream while urinating and you want to stop the flow, same muscle. Try tightening it, hold for 5 seconds, and then relax. Do that about 10 times, a few times a day. You don't even need to be lying down. You can do it while watching TV, sitting at the kitchen table, or waiting in the car. No one will even know. It's subtle, but powerful. And just like any muscle, the more you use it, the stronger it gets. Give it a couple of weeks, and you might start noticing fewer trips to the bathroom, better control, and an overall sense that things are working a bit smoother. I know some folks who've told me they used to plan their outings around bathroom stops, but after doing these regularly, they felt more at ease going about their day. Now, alongside that, let's talk about walking. Simple, steady walking. You might not think of it as a prostate exercise, but trust me, it's one of the best things you can do for your overall health, including your urinary system. Regular walking helps improve blood flow to the pelvic area, keeps your metabolism humming, and even helps manage weight, which is a big factor in prostate and bladder health. Just a 20-minute walk each day, at your own pace, can do more than you might imagine. And don't worry if you're not speed walking like you did in your 40s. This is about consistency, not speed. Strolling around your neighborhood, pacing around the house during commercial breaks, or even walking up and down your hallway a few times. Every bit adds up. Plus, walking is a great way to clear your mind, stretch your legs, and reconnect with the world around you. Sometimes I like to take those walks just before sunset, when the light's soft and the air is calm. It's good for the body, and even better for the spirit. You know what else helps? Gentle stretching. Not the kind that turns you into a pretzel, but slow, mindful movements that release tension in your hips and lower back. You see, when those areas get tight, which they often do after years of sitting or limited movement, it puts pressure on the pelvic region. That pressure can mess with how your bladder and prostate function. So taking 5 minutes to stretch your hips, rotate your lower back, or just loosen up before bed can make a big difference. And let me tell you, these little habits, they build on each other. They're not about perfection or instant results. They're about making small, steady choices that honor the body you have now. The body that's been with you through decades of life, working, loving, building, and surviving. It deserves care, and you deserve comfort, freedom, and peace of mind when it comes to your health. So let's keep going, shall we? There's more to explore, and I promise, it's all easier than you think. Absolutely, let's keep going. Now, While Kegels and walking are great starting points, there's another piece of the puzzle that doesn't get talked about nearly enough: your core. And no, I don't mean six-pack abs or crunches on a yoga mat. I'm talking about the deep muscles around your belly, your lower back, and your sides, the kind that support your posture, your balance, and, believe it or not, your bladder control. When your core is weak, your whole body tends to compensate. You slouch more, you move less confidently, and your pelvic muscles have to work harder just to keep things steady down there. But when your core is just a little stronger, your whole body feels more supported. It's easier to stand up from a chair, easier to stay balanced, and yes, easier to hold it in when nature calls. One very simple move that helps is called the abdominal draw-in. Sounds fancy, but it's as basic as this. While sitting or standing, gently pull your belly button in toward your spine. Hold it there for a few seconds, just like you're bracing yourself for a sneeze. Then release. That's it. Try doing it a few times a day, maybe while brushing your teeth or waiting for your coffee to brew. You're not trying to strain or hold your breath, just a light, steady pull. That movement activates the deep muscles around your abdomen and pelvis, creating a kind of natural support system. And here's something else to think about. How often do you sit during the day? For many of us, sitting is the default, reading the paper, watching TV, chatting with friends. And while there's nothing wrong with taking a good rest, we've earned it. Sitting for long periods, especially in soft, saggy chairs, can actually weaken the very muscles we're trying to strengthen. So every now and then, try to sit up straight, plant your feet flat on the ground, and gently engage your core. It might feel a bit odd at first, but it trains your body to support itself better, even while resting. Now I want to talk about something that might sound unrelated at first, but bear with me. Breathing. Yes, breathing. Not just any breathing, deep, diaphragmatic breathing. Most of us, especially when we're stressed or tired, tend to breathe shallowly from our chest. But when you breathe deeply from your belly, you're not just calming your mind. You're actually helping your pelvic floor relax and function better. Let me walk you through it. Sit comfortably. Place one hand on your chest and the other on your stomach. Take a slow breath in through your nose. You want the hand on your belly to rise, while the hand on your chest stays still. Then exhale slowly through your mouth. That kind of breathing does wonders. It lowers tension, improves oxygen flow, and helps your muscles, especially those deep ones, do their job more efficiently. Try doing that for just a minute or two a few times a day. It's like hitting the reset button for your nervous system. And here's something I've noticed over the years. Sometimes, it's not the body that forgets what to do. It's the brain that forgets to tell it. That's where regular practice comes in. The more we do these little exercises, the more natural they become. It's like planting seeds in the garden. You water them, give them light, and one day, you look out the window and there's something growing there. It's quiet progress, but it's real. Now I know for some of us, the idea of exercise brings back memories of gyms, sweaty workouts, or maybe even injuries. But this isn't about any of that. This is about reclaiming a bit of control, taking simple steps that remind you your body still works, your efforts still matter, and it's never too late to feel better than you do today. And don't worry if you forget to do these every now and then. This isn't about being perfect. It's about being kind to yourself and choosing movement over stillness, strength over silence. I know men in their 70s and 80s who've started doing these simple routines and told me, I wish I'd started sooner. But the truth is, now is always the best time. You've come this far, and you're doing great. Let's keep that momentum going, because your health, your comfort, and your dignity are worth every small effort you make. And the good news is, there are still more helpful habits we can add, ones that are just as easy, just as encouraging, and maybe even a little fun. I'm glad you're still with me, because we're not done yet. Now let's talk about something that ties everything together in a really practical way: posture and balance. You might not think they have much to do with your prostate or urinary health, but you'd be surprised. Good posture isn't just about looking upright. It's about how your body lines up to support your internal organs, including your bladder and prostate. When you're slouched forward, especially if that's your default sitting or standing position, it can put pressure on the pelvic area and disrupt the natural flow and function of those systems. Here's something to try right now. While you're listening to me, sit up a little straighter. Roll your shoulders back. Lift your chest gently, not like a soldier standing at attention, just a relaxed, open stance. Feel how it frees up space in your lower belly? That slight change makes it easier for your pelvic muscles to engage and for your bladder to do its job more effectively. Even standing with good posture can improve how your body works throughout the day. It's like giving your internal organs a bit of breathing room. And let's not forget balance. As we get older, our sense of balance naturally starts to decline, but staying steady on your feet does more than prevent falls. It keeps you moving, keeps your circulation strong, and keeps your muscles from stiffening up, especially in the hips and lower back, which are closely connected to the pelvic region. One exercise I often recommend is what I call the kitchen counter stand. Just stand facing your kitchen counter or a sturdy chair, rest your hands lightly on it, and lift one foot off the ground. Hold that position for 5 to 10 seconds, then switch feet. If that feels too easy, try doing it with your eyes closed or with one hand instead of two. It's simple, but it wakes up the muscles in your legs, hips, and core and reminds your brain how to stay centered. And if you ever feel wobbly or uncertain, don't push too hard. This isn't a contest. You're not trying to prove anything to anyone. Just take your time and listen to your body. Every bit of movement counts. Speaking of listening to your body, hydration is something we have to talk about. You might be thinking, wait, aren't we trying to go to the bathroom less? And that's understandable. A lot of folks try to drink less water, especially in the evening, to avoid those nighttime wake-ups. But the truth is, not drinking enough can actually worsen urinary symptoms. Your urine becomes more concentrated, which can irritate the bladder and increase urgency. It's a bit of a balancing act. The key is to stay consistently hydrated during the day, small sips, spread out. And then, yes, maybe ease up a couple of hours before bedtime. But don't cut out water entirely. Your body needs it, your kidneys, your bladder, even your prostate all depend on good hydration to work properly. Think of water like oil in a car engine. It keeps everything running smoothly, flushing out toxins and reducing inflammation. A well-hydrated body is a happier body. And here's a little tip I picked up from an old neighbor of mine who swore by it. Warm water with a slice of lemon in the morning. Not only does it help with digestion and hydration, but it also gives your system a gentle nudge to start the day. Some mornings, it feels like a quiet ritual, a way to tell your body, I'm taking care of you today. That brings me to something else just as important as any exercise or stretch, your mindset. I know, that sounds like something from a self-help book, but hear me out. How we think about our health matters. If you believe that decline is inevitable, if you believe that discomfort is just part of aging you have to accept, then it becomes easier to give up. But if you believe, even a little, that your actions still make a difference, that your body is still capable of change, well, that belief becomes your fuel. I've seen it happen. A gentleman I know, 82 years old, started doing just a few of the things we've talked about. Nothing major. A short walk in the morning, a few Kegels during commercials, a bit of stretching before bed. And after a few months, he wasn't just feeling better physically. He was walking taller, smiling more, and talking about plans for next year's garden. These aren't magic tricks. They're small, honest efforts. And when you stack them together, day after day, they become something powerful. They become the proof that your age does not define your health, and that your best years can still feel like your strongest ones. Now, if you've made it this far, I want to say something simple but sincere. You're doing great. You're here, you're listening, and you're showing up for yourself. That alone makes you remarkable. And the good news is, there's just a little more I'd love to share with you. Some final ideas that can help you feel even more supported and at ease. So let's keep going. I'm really glad you're still here, because these final thoughts might be the most important ones of all. Let's talk about something a little more personal. Sometimes, when it comes to prostate health and urinary wellness, it's not just the physical symptoms that get to us. It's the quiet frustration. That feeling of not being in control. Maybe you've had to plan outings around where the bathrooms are. Maybe you've felt embarrassed at night, getting up more times than you care to count. Or maybe, like a lot of men, you just haven't talked about it much. because that's how many of us were raised. Keep it to yourself, tough it out, don't make a fuss. But the truth is, these challenges don't make you weak. They make you human. And the real strength, the kind that matters most, comes from doing something about it. That's why everything we've talked about so far matters. Because small, steady actions give you back that feeling of control. One of the simplest, yet most overlooked ways to support that control is through a gentle daily routine, not just for your body, but for your bladder. I call it the bladder rhythm. It's all about creating regular bathroom habits, going at certain times of the day instead of waiting until it's urgent. Maybe after breakfast, before lunch, mid-afternoon, then again before bed. Your bladder, just like the rest of you, responds well to rhythm and routine. When you give your body a pattern, it tends to settle down. That sense of urgency, it eases. That unpredictable need to run to the bathroom, it starts to become more manageable. And when paired with everything else, your walking, your kegels, your stretches, it becomes a full circle of wellness, all connected and working together. Now here's one last piece that brings it all home. Joy. Yes, joy. It might seem unrelated, but it's not. You see, when we're tense, anxious, or always on edge about our bodies, we tend to tighten up without even realizing it. Our muscles stay clenched, our nerves stay fired up, and it becomes harder for everything, from our breathing to our bladder, to work naturally. But when we do something we enjoy, whether it's laughing with a friend, spending time in the garden, or listening to a favorite old song, our bodies soften. They open, and suddenly, everything runs just a little smoother. That's not wishful thinking, it's biology. Laughter reduces stress hormones. Music lowers blood pressure. Even a simple smile can relax the muscles in your abdomen and pelvis. So yes, keep up the exercises, stay hydrated, walk, stretch, but also make room for joy. You've earned it. You deserve it. And here's what I hope you take from all of this. You are not powerless. You are not too old. And it is never too late to start feeling better, stronger, more in control of your body. Every day you choose to move, breathe, stretch, or even think kindly toward yourself, you're making a difference. A real one. I'd love to hear how you're doing. What have you tried? What's helped you the most? Share it in the comments, because your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear. And if this video encouraged you, go ahead and give it a like or subscribe if you haven't already. We've got more conversations like this coming, all aimed at helping you feel your best, no matter your age. Take care of yourself. Be gentle with your body. Be proud of the steps you're taking, because every one of them matters. And remember this, you're not just surviving these years, you're still living them. So keep moving forward. Keep finding your rhythm. And never forget, you're never too old to feel young again.